Welcome to the Lifetime Assembly channel. My name is John, and today I'm going to help you assemble your 8 by 7.5 foot outdoor shed. Before we get started, make sure the model number of your shed is listed in the description below. This video will follow the steps outlined in the assembly manual that comes with the shed, but if you've already begun and need help on a specific step, check the description below for timestamp associated with each step. The shed comes in several boxes, but will be on one big pallet, so let's take a look at what you should have received. There are steps within this assembly that require 2 people, so be sure to have at least one other adult available to help. Before we get into the assembly process, let's take a look at the tools you'll need to complete the job.
You'll need a 7/16 wrench, a 3/8 wrench, a rubber mallet, a Phillips head screwdriver, needle nose pliers, safety glasses, a ladder, a block, and a drill. You may see us use an impact driver. If you decide to use one as well, be sure not to over torque or over tighten the hardware. To make this easier, we're going to use a socket set, a socket adapter, vice grips, and a Phillips head bit. You will also need additional tools to prepare the foundation of your shed, so refer to your manual to see what other supplies you will need. All Lifetime sheds require a platform to be built on. We recommend building one out of concrete, but you can also build one out of lumber. This video is meant to be used as a companion to the assembly manual and not a direct replacement, so for the best results, make sure to have the assembly manual on hand during the build. It's also crucial that you refer to the assembly manual to review the safety instructions for this build to prevent serious injury or property damage. All right, let's get started. This section will go over the requirements for the foundation of your shed. This video will focus on the assembly of the shed and not the foundation, so refer to your manual in section 1 to see how to properly build the foundation of your shed. If you have questions about the foundation of your shed, feel free to reach out to the customer service team at the number below. Take 2 gutter channels and line up the holes in the ends with the holes in the connector. Secure the gutter channel to the connector with the hardware. Line up the holes in the truss brace with the holes in the middle of the gutter channel, making sure the head of the bolt is on the inside of the gutter channel. Add a nut to one end of the truss rod, then place the truss rod into the connector and the truss brace. Now that you've assembled the truss, go ahead and tighten all the hardware. Only tighten until the truss rod doesn't wiggle. To make tightening this hardware easier, I like to use a Phillips bit inside of a pair of vice grips. Repeat the previous steps for a second truss assembly.
Take the two gable halves that have a straight edge at the bottom, align them in the middle, and then secure with the hardware. Place a screen over the vent, making sure the holes line up, then place it on the front side of the gable and secure with the hardware. There are two square tubes that are similar. One has these two holes and the other doesn't. The one you need for this step doesn't have the holes. Insert an end cap into each end of the square tube. Place the square tube over the divots on the back of the gable, making sure that the dimpled oblong holes are facing down and the square dimpled hole is facing towards you. Take the other gable halves that have a curve at the bottom, align them in the center, and secure with the hardware. Add the screen and vent to the gable using the same method as the previous gable. Take the other square tube and add a cap to each end. Place a square tube on the back of the gable, making sure the dimpled holes are facing down and the square dimpled hole is facing towards you. Secure through these small holes first with the hardware. Finish securing the tube to the gable through the oblong holes. Take the left door, which is the door with the Lifetime logo, and insert the hinge tube into the round hole at the bottom of the door. Slide the door and channel onto this edge of the door, making sure that these two holes line up with this notch on the door. Before you slide your door and channel onto the door, make sure you add your deadbolts to these cutouts at the top and bottom of the door, oriented like this. Place a strike plate over the door and channel oriented like this. Add the locking hardware over the strike plate, making sure it's oriented like this. Secure the handle to the door with the hardware. Take the right door and insert the hinge tube into the round hole at the bottom of the door. Slide the door and channel onto the other edge of the door, making sure that these two holes line up with the notch on the door. This door does not need deadbolt latches. Place the thumb lever into the door handle, making sure that these tabs go into these holes. Slide the handle into the door, line up the holes, and secure with the hardware. Add the locking hardware to the door, making sure it's oriented like this. Add this bracket to the lever oriented like this. Then attach the spring to the eyelet on the latch and the hole on the L bracket. Lay the floor panels out like this and connect them together by lifting one panel up at a 45-degree angle, interlocking the tabs, and then laying it back down. The panels with the Lifetime logos are where your doors can go. Decide which side you want your doors to go on and insert the bushings into the round holes. Locate these divots on the panels where the panels connect and insert the hardware to hold the panels together. On your 5 wall panels labeled AHD, add a wall support to the channel just to the left of the cutout at the top of the wall panel. On your wall supports, make sure that the 2 holes that are close together goes to the top. Make sure the holes line up with the divots and secure with the hardware. Take the window wall panel and add the shorter wall support just to the left of center, making sure the holes line up and secure with the hardware. This hardware is longer and will need to be inserted at an angle. Take the corner panel labeled AGY and insert the wall support into this channel along the edge, making sure that the 2 holes that are close together go at the top. Take a corner wall panel labeled AGN and add a wall support into this channel along the edge, making sure that the 2 holes that are close together go at the bottom of the wall panel. We've rotated the floor so that the bushings are here. Take your corner wall panel labeled AGY and insert the tabs at the bottom into these cutouts next to the bushing. Slide the panel over towards the bushing to lock it into place. I'm comfortable tapping the panel over with my foot, but if you're not, you can use a block and a rubber mallet. Lean the panel away from the floor, fold the panel over, line up the tabs in the bottom of the panel with the cutouts on the floor, and then apply downward pressure to lock it into place. If you're having a hard time getting the tabs to go into the cutouts, it's helpful to put a block under each cutout and then apply downward force until you hear it click into place. Take a wall panel labeled AHD and insert the tabs into the cutouts and then slide it over to lock it into place. Make sure the line at the top of the wall panels lines up before securing the panels together. Add another wall panel labeled AHD next to the previous wall panel using the same method. Take the corner wall panel labeled AGW and add it to this corner using the same method as the first corner panel. To the back of the shed, add 2 wall panels labeled AHD. Add corner wall panel AGL to this corner of the shed. The window panel can go anywhere an AHD panel is, except on the back wall. We're going to put our window wall panel here, followed by an AHD panel. Finally, corner wall panel labeled AGN will go on this corner here. There are 3 different height settings that you can choose for your shelf, determined by these 3 divots. Decide how high you want your shelf to be, and insert the shelf brackets into the slits on the wall support on the back wall. Take your shelf and fold the flaps on the ends up. Place the shelf on the brackets, making sure that these indentations are against the back wall. Secure the shelf to the wall and brackets. Take the left door, which is the door with the Lifetime logo, and insert the hinge tube into the bushing, making sure that the hole in the hinge tube lines up with the hole in the bushing. Insert the cotter pin from the front side going in, and then expand the ends to lock it into place. Repeat the previous step for the right door. Take the gable that has a curve at the bottom and place it over the hinge tubes on the door. Secure the gable to the wall panel through these 3 holes. Close the doors and place the gap flaps over these divots oriented like this. Take a truss and place it into the notches closest to the gable. Take a roof panel and slide it over the gable and into the gutter channel. You know the roof panel is in the correct position when the alignment nub sits inside the notch. Secure the roof panel to the wall panel through these 4 holes. Make sure that the gable rests in this notch on the roof and that the holes line up, and then insert the hardware into these 2 holes. Insert the roof support into the notch in between the gable and the roof panel and the truss. Finish securing the roof panel through the 2 holes on the gable and the 3 holes on the truss. Repeat the same process for the roof panel on the other side. Repeat the previous steps, adding a truss to these notches and 2 roof panels. With the help of another person, lift the other gable onto the back wall, line up the holes, and secure with the hardware. Add the final 2 roof panels over the rear gable and truss. Place a roof cap labeled AGG at the front of the shed over the gable and then secure with the hardware. Take a roof cap labeled AFY and place it over the previous roof cap and secure it to the roof cap, truss, and roof panel. Repeat for the other roof cap labeled AFY. The final roof cap will be labeled AFW. Fold the skylight in half and place it through the hole. Then line up the tabs on the skylight with the holes in the caps and secure with the hardware. The shed comes with 6 wall hooks and can go anywhere throughout the shed in these recesses. Remove the plastic film from both sides of the window. Insert the window into the window frame, making sure the lip is at the top and on the inside. Insert the small screw into the hole at the bottom of the window. Add the window locks oriented like this to these divots on the window. Leave the hardware loose so that the latch slides freely. Next, you need to make sure your doors are level. Click on this link here to see a video on how to properly level your doors. Thank you for watching this video on how to assemble your lifetime 8 by 7.5 foot outdoor shed. If you found this video helpful, give us a thumbs up. For more content like this, subscribe to our channel. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to our customer service team and check out our other awesome products at lifetime.com.